The Mona Lisa is a piece of artwork that the majority of us can visualize but also know very little about. The general backstory behind it is that it's simply a painting of a beautiful but random woman from many centuries ago. Being that we all know it as one of the most well-known paintings of all time, I thought that it would be valuable to take a deeper dive into the backstory behind Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting and exactly how it came to gain the popularity that it has today. So starting with the woman herself, Mona Lisa was an Italian woman from the early 1500s. At the time, portraits had just become affordable for people outside of royalty, so it's predicted that her husband would have been a wealthy silk merchant in Florence during the Italian Renaissance. In her portrait, Mona Lisa is praised for her simplicity and slight smile. The smile on her face leaves her attitude up for interpretation, so many have said it to be more flirtatious, while others have said it to be more motherly. Along with that, another thing that stuck out about her portrait is that specifically half of her body is shown. In other paintings during this era, they were either usually full body or just from the chest up. Along with that, it is odd that this painting was never actually given to the merchant that it was meant for. Some believe that Da Vinci just never gave it to him, or that the merchant never paid for it. Regardless, Da Vinci brought the painting with him for his travels from Italy to France, where it was taken off his hands by French king at the time, Francis I, who hung it in one of his chateaus. That inevitably spiked the painting's value just to be owned by royalty. But what many don't know about this renowned painting is that it's actually unfinished. If you were to take a deeper look at the background, you can see the area where it was expected that Da Vinci would have added columns on the sides of the portrait. But nevertheless, the painting was placed in the Louvre in 1804 and stayed there until its theft in 1911. This theft caused the biggest spike in the painting's popularity and shocked many because it wasn't even one of the most valuable or most well-known paintings in the museum at the time. The thieves were 3 Italian men, and the leader of this theft was named Vincenzo Peruggia. The 3 had a mostly successful burglary and took it back to Italy, which led Peruggia to end up trying to sell it to an art dealer in Florence almost 2 years after he had stolen it. The art dealer verified its authenticity and alerted authorities that he had found the stolen painting. Oblivious that he had been caught, Peruggia went back home and was met with authorities at his door and was eventually sentenced to 8 months in prison. And for any of you wondering what Peruggia's statement might have been, he basically labeled himself as an Italian patriot and stated he was avenging Italy. That was probably based off the theory that French King Napoleon had stolen the painting from Italy, even though that's been proven to be false. Surprisingly, Peruggia was a maintenance worker at the Louvre and actually took part in installing the protective covering over the painting. That probably helped him to be able to steal it so effectively, but either way, the story ended up on the covers of many newspapers, such as the New York Times, which inevitably contributed to the Mona Lisa becoming a household name. Before the heist, the Mona Lisa was not nearly the attention grabber for visitors of the Louvre, but now in the present day, almost 80% of the Louvre's visitors attend the museum specifically to see the Mona Lisa. With that, Mona Lisa also set a Guinness World Record for having the highest known painting insurance valuation in 1962, coming in at approximately $870 million in today's economy. Despite that, the Louvre never actually issued the painting because it is universally considered to be a priceless piece of art. Overall, the seemingly common painting for the time has grown to be one of the most well-known pieces of art worldwide.